So in this video we're going to talk about pure components in React. So the pure components just like any other React component, but the pure components are optimized to re-render only when the prop or the state of the component changes. And this way the pure components are much more efficient than the regular React component. So the pure components automatically include should component update logic, and this way the pure components can prevent any kind of unnecessary re-rendering. So the pure components can be class component or they can be functional component. So in case of class component, while creating our component we have to extend react.pureComponent to create the pure component, where in case of functional component we can use react.memo, and this will work similar to this pure component. So let's now create one pure class component. So we're gonna call this pure class.js. So the class component will extend the react.pureComponent to create the pure class component. Let's just define the render method. So this will simply return one div with the message of the prop. So this dot props dot message, and also we're gonna add one console log pure class rendered, and at the end we're gonna export this. So export default pure class. Similarly also we can create pure functional component. So let's now define the pure functional component. So the functional component will take the message prop and then it will return with the message. So here we're gonna render the message, and also let's now add one console log pure function rendered, and then of course we have to export this. So export default. Now to make the functional component a pure functional component we have to use the react.memo. So we have to memoize that. So react.memo, and here inside we have to pass the function that we have created. Now the class component and the functional component has become pure components. That means these components will only re-render when their props or the state has changed, otherwise they will not re-render. So let's now see this. So here we have this app component. So the app component has the count and the message. Now with the click of this button we can increment the count, and also we can take the message from the input field. So here you can see we have the component, so we can increment the count. Now here we can enter the message and we can update the message. So let's now import both of these pure components to check how they behave. So let's now import pure class component, and also we're gonna import pure functional component. We're gonna render pure class component and also pure functional component. So we are taking the message from the input field and we can pass that as a prop to both of these components. So here we can send a message prop. So we can pass the message to the pure class component, and also we can pass the message to the pure functional component. So here you can see we can enter a message and we can update the message, and we can pass that updated message to both the class component and the functional component. And when we pass the updated message, then only both of these components are re-rendered. Otherwise, if the message stays the same, then those components will not re-render. Only when we change the message and we pass the updated message as a prop, then only those components are re-rendered. But if we increment the count, those components are not re-rendering. That's because we are not passing them as a prop to those components. So the components will only re-render whenever we pass one updated message. So this way we can use pure components in our application, and they can greatly improve the performance, especially in case of larger application. So hope you understand the concept. See you in the next one. Take care.